Miami sweet, that neon glow hits different. He said the pillars and the queries. Listen, select, insert, know your joins, that's wisdom. Update, delete, man, that's just how we living. That's the foundation, gotta know it like it's second nature. Yeah, the interviewer's preaching truth, I'll catch you later. Second nature, man. Analyze the facts, model the truth for the whole crew. Visualize the data, make it plain for them to view. That's the pillars of the game, homie. Yeah, all day.
You peel your eyes open. The hum of a cheap AC unit fills the air, and neon pink light bleeds through the plastic window blinds. You're on a floral motel bedspread in 1995 Miami. Two guys from the comedy club are sitting on the floor, passing a bag of off-brand potato chips. Standing by the TV, holding a half-empty bottle of cheap beer and using a dry erase marker on the motel room mirror, is your Triple 10 interviewer. His tie is completely undone, but his eyes are sharp. He points the marker at you as you sit up. Look who decided to join us in the past. Good, because your interview is in 31 years and we have work to do. These guys here. He gestures to the attendees on the floor with his beer. They want the real material, the sequel material. You want to walk into that room and show them a 95? Listen up, because I'm only writing this on the mirror once. He takes a swig and starts tapping the marker against the glass. The Motel Mirror Masterclass, Sequel Edition. The head count rows. Let's start with the basics. Remember the question I hit you with? Write a query that shows the total number of employees in the department employees table. A 65 writes select asterisk from department underscore employees. Runs it, waits 5 minutes for the server to sweat, and then scrolls down to read the row count at the bottom of the screen. A 95 writes select count, amp underscore D, from department of employee. Boom, done in 2 milliseconds. You don't ask the bartender to line up every bottle in the bar, just to tell you if they serve beer. The select asterisk tragedy. Speaking of which, a 65 treats select asterisk like a greeting. They just throw it at a billion-row production table to see what it looks like. A 95 knows select asterisk is a weapon of mass destruction. A 95 specifically names their columns. Select first underscore name, last underscore name, salary. You only pack what you need in your suitcase, kid. We're in Miami, you don't pack snow boots. The join dilemma. A 65 thinks every problem in the world can be solved with an inner join. They join the employees table with the bonus table, and suddenly half the staff disappears from the report because they didn't get a bonus this year. A 95 knows the power of the left join. A 95 keeps the employees in the report and lets that null sit there as a cold, hard reminder that they ain't getting a holiday check. The group by tantrum. A 65 writes a beautiful aggregate. Select department, some salary. But then they hit execute without a group by clause, and the SQL engine screams at them like a bouncer at a South Beach club. A 95 knows the golden rule. If it's in the select and it's not in a SUM count or AVG, it must go in the group by. No exceptions, no VIP list. The where versus having brawl. A 65 tries to filter their group data using the where clause. They type where some sales greater than 100,000 and wonder why the database just threw an error code that looks like a phone number. A 95 knows where is the bouncer at the front door checking IDs before you get in. Having is the manager kicking you out of the VIP section after you've already grouped up. You filter aggregates with having. The subquery inception. A 65 writes a query inside a query inside a query. It's a mess of parentheses. It looks like a bowl of spaghetti dropped on a keyboard. If I try to read a 65 subqueries, I need a map and a compass. A 95 uses CTEs, the with clause. They declare their temporary tables at the top, nice and clean, like setting out your ingredients before you cook. A 95 writes code that the next analyst can read without wanting to quit their job. The order by illusion. A 65 writes a top 10 report and forgets the order by desk proudly, presenting the 10 worst performing regions to the executives. A 95 knows that limit 10 is absolutely useless unless you've explicitly told the machine how to sort the data first. The interviewer tosses the dry erase marker. It bounces off your pillow. There. That's your 95. You master your count, you respect your left joins, and you keep your aggregates in the having clause. Now memorize this mirror before housekeeping gets here, because in 31 years, they're going to ask you to prove it. The interviewer groans. Nappy time? Not on my watch, kid. We're in the Magic City, and the only thing we're sleeping on is our window functions. He grabs an empty beer bottle, taps it like a cowbell against the motel dresser, and the two guys on the floor start beatboxing a heavy 90s boom tap rhythm. The interviewer starts pacing the room, rhyming with the frantic energy of someone who has seen too many slow-running queries. The Select to Success Rap 65 to 95 remix. Verse 1, The Foundation. Yo, you're stuck at a 65, barely keeping the code alive. Writing queries so messy, the database wants to dive. You're using distinct, cause your joins are all doubled. But a 95 knows that's just asking for trouble. Fix the primary key, understand the grain, or your many-to-many is gonna cause you some pain. Choke. Russ, from the 65 to the 95, keep the logic tight. We're filtering the data in the middle of the night. From the 1226 to the 2026, these are the SQL tricks that'll get your career fixed. Ver. SE2, the logic gates. Now listen to the coalesce, it's a beautiful thing, when the null values bite and they give you a sting. Don't let the blanks break your math or your flow, set them to 0 so the totals can grow. And don't forget case when the king of the logic turning 1 into active. It's almost psychotropic. Case when status equals 1 then goal else miss. A 95 coder handles data like this. Verse 3, the big leagues. You want the big bucks? Then learn the window over partition by. Look out the window. You want a rank. You want a row underscore number. Don't let your calculation fall into a slumber. You can see the whole table while you look at one row. That's how a 95 analyst starts the show. Compare this month's sales to the one that came last, LAG. And lead. Man, you're moving too fast. Verse 4, the cleanup. Last bit of advice before I let the beat drop. Your union versus union all. Don't let the speed stop. Union looks for duplicates, it's slow as a snail, union all is. The rocket that'll help you prevail. Keep your comments in the code, let the /**/ fly, so the next guy knows exactly what you're trying to imply. The beatboxing stops. The interviewer is out of breath, leaning against the neon-lit window. There, he wheezes, pointing his bottle at you. That's the whole syllabus. Window functions for the complex stuff, coalesce for the messy stuff, and union all for the fast stuff. If you can explain those in 2026, you aren't just getting the job, you're running the department. He kicks a pile of laundry toward the door. Now either memorize the lyrics or get out. I've got a technical mock interview to prepare for in 31 years, and I need to make sure I'm grumpy enough for it.
The 65 to 95 comedy special, The Three Pillars Act. 1. Power BI, the corporate overlord pillar, INTE. Reviewer, so, our candidate here got a 65, but claims they're a SQL wizard. They can join 5 tables in their sleep, but put them in front of Power BI and they look like they're trying to pilot a starship with a joystick. E-joke, Power BI is just Excel with a midlife crisis and a gym membership. It's built on DAX, data analysis expressions. If SQL is a conversation, DAX is a legal contract written in Klingon. The punchline, you don't just make a chart in Power BI. You build a data model. You define your measures, the logic, and your calculated columns, the static stuff. If you don't set up your relationships correctly, your dashboard ends up like my first marriage, everything is connected, but nothing is moving. Key takeaway, it's part of the Microsoft stack. It loves Power Query for cleaning data and is the king of cross-filtering. Click a bar chart here, and the whole page loses its mind over there. Act 2. Tableau, the artist in a turtleneck pillar, INTE. Reviewer, then we have Tableau. Our candidate thinks Tableau is just a fancy word for a French dinner party. Close, because it's just as expensive and everyone's judging your outfit. E-joke, Tableau doesn't want your logic. It wants your soul. It's all about the marks card. You don't code a visual, you drag pills onto shelves. It's the only tech job that feels like stocking a pharmacy. The punchline: in Power BI, you build a report. In Tableau, you build a viz. If your data isn't tidy, Tableau will throw a tantrum. It's obsessed with dimensions, the what, and measures, the how much. It's the gold standard for storytelling, assuming you have the 3 hours it takes to make the map turn the right shade of teal. Key takeaway: great for huge datasets and exploratory analysis. It's the most drag and drop of the bunch, but it's got a steep learning curve for the level of detail, lot, expressions. Act 3. Google Sheets, the chaos theory pillar, INTE. Reviewer, and finally, Google Sheets. The place where data goes to die or to live forever in a cell that someone accidentally deleted 3 weeks ago. E-joke, Sheets is the old reliable. It's the only tool here where you can accidentally share the CEO's salary with the entire no-reply mailing list with one click. The punchline: our SQL wizard here loves select asterisk, but in Sheets, they're stuck with equals VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is like trying to find your car in a dark parking lot using only a toothpick. If you're fancy, you use equals query, which is just SQL for people who are too afraid to leave the browser. Key takeaway: it's the king of collaboration. It's not a database, but everyone uses it like one. If you can't master a pivot table in Sheets, you're not allowed to call yourself a data person. The closing bid: so, to our 65 grade candidate, SQL is the engine, but these three are the dashboard. You can have the fastest engine in the world, but if you can't show the driver where they're going, you're just sitting in a very loud, very expensive box. Drop S the mic. The 1995 crowd goes wild. How? S that for a crash course? Ready to turn that 65 into a 95, or do we need to check the script for some more specific DAX functions? The Encore, the 3-word cheat sheet, the Pillar PEP, by Tableau, oh the vibe, the Corporate Engine, the Visual Arty, ST the secret sauce DAX, and relationships. It's all about the data model. If the tables aren't connected right, the math breaks. Pill S and shelves. You don't build charts, you render them. It's for when the data needs to look like a masterpiece. Gook LE Sheets, the quick fix pivot tables and VLOOKUP. It's the ultimate scratch pad. If you can't summarize it here, you're overthinking it. The final roasts, for the study session. On Power BI, remember, Power BI is just a bunch of fancy buttons sitting on top of a giant brain called Power Query. Learn to clean the data there, and the buttons do the work for you. On Tableau, if you get lost, just remember, blue is discrete, green is continuous. If you mix them up, your chart will look like a 1990s screensaver. On Sheets, it's the gateway drug to data analytics. Use equals query, AZ, select, when you miss SQL and want to feel superior to everyone else in the spreadsheet. The interviewer's final word. SQL gets the data to the party, but these three determine if the data is wearing a tuxedo, Tableau, a business suit, Power BI, or just showed up in its pajamas, Sheets. Don't let that 65 define you, just make sure the relationships are one-to-many and the pills are in the right shelves. Mic drop. The feedback hums through the speakers as the 1995 crowd stands up. Go get him. That script will still be there when you get outside, just watch out for any more time-traveling HR managers. The interviewer walks back onto the stage, waving off the band. He loosens his tie, leans over the mic stand, and points right at you. You thought I was done? The kid wants to get from a 65 to a 95, so we're locking the doors. We are doing a deep dive. If you want to stop getting a 65 on your dashboards, you need to understand the punchlines of these tools. Take notes, because this is the material that actually pays the bills. The Power BI said, stop fighting the data model. The Calculate roast a 65 level analyst tries to write SQL in DAX. They're looking for group by and crying when they can't find it. A 95 level analyst knows the punchline is always calculate. Calculate is just a SQL select statement that went to private school and thinks it's better than you. The Power Query reality check. You want a 95? Stop doing your data transformations in DAX. Doing ETL in DAX instead of Power Query is like trying to mow your lawn with a pair of scissors. Power Query uses the M language. What does M stand for? Magic? Madness? Nobody knows, but it cleans your messy tables before they ever touch the model. The Storytelling Smackdown A65 builds a dashboard that's just a data dump. You can't just slap a card visual on the screen showing $986.6 million in total revenue and expect a standing ovation. A 95 knows you have to use cross-filtering to prove why the business is an India-centric powerhouse. You have to guide the user's eye, not hit them in the face with a spreadsheet. The Tableau said, stop making bruised eggplants. The Show Me Crutch Tableau has a button called Show Me A65, clicks it, closes their eyes, and hopes the software builds the chart for them. A 95 uses the Marks card from scratch, and then hides the Show Me menu so nobody knows they still secretly use it when they're tired. The Blue/green disaster. You want to jump from 65 to 95? Learn your colors. A 65 throws a continuous green pill onto a color shelf and wonders why their bar chart looks like a bruised eggplant. A 95 knows the golden rule: blue is discrete, it makes headers; green is continuous, it makes axes. Mix them up, and your dashboard looks like a bad tie-dye shirt. The Lot Nightmare A65 thinks level of detail is just how close you sit to the monitor. A 95 knows that lot expressions, fixed, include, exclude, are the only way to stop Tableau from aggressively averaging your averages. If you don't use fixed, your grand totals are going to lie to your boss, and you'll be back down to a 65 real fast. The Google Sheets said, stop crashing the browser. The VLOO Cup Tragedy A65 uses VLOOKUP. It works great, right? Until Kevin in accounting inserts a new column to the left, and suddenly your dashboard says the company's profit margin is Dave. A 95 uses index/match, or better yet, SLOOKUP. It's bulletproof. Let Kevin add all the columns he wants. A 95 sleeps soundly at night. The data-based delusion, the biggest joke of all. A 65 trying to load 2 million rows of raw transactional data into Google Sheets. Sheets is not a database. You load that much data, the cloud doesn't compute it, it just starts crying. The browser freezes, the fans on your laptop sound like a jet engine, and you lose all your tabs. A 95 aggregates the data in SQL first, and only puts the summary in the sheet. The Pivot T-table flex. If you can't build a pivot table, you don't get a 95. A 65 manually types equals sum for 50 different categories. A 95 highlights the whole block, clicks pivot, and takes a 2-hour lunch break while the boss thinks they're a genius. The INTE reviewer gives a sharp nod, taps the mic once, and smiles. That's your crash course from 65 to 95. You master Calculate, you respect the blue and green pills, and you ban VLOOKUP from your life. You're going to ace that interview. The 1995 show is officially over. Get out of here and go study.
You blink against the glare of a massive silver-framed plasma TV. You're in a 2007 VIP lounge. Lots of white leather, blue LED floor lights, and everyone is wearing oversized polo shirts. The interviewer is there, rocking a Bluetooth headset that's definitely not turned on. He looks at you, eyes half-lidded, and grins. Welcome back to the future of the past, man. You're doing great, but we gotta get those 4 pillars locked into your DNA. SQL is the soul, but the other 3 are the suit, the paint, and the scratch pad. Listen to the crew. They've been waiting for you. He signals to a group of guys wearing Trippleton 07 jerseys. The beat drops, a heavy sliding bass line with that classic West Coast whistle synth. The track, Pillars of the Game, 65 to 95 remix. Int. Aro the interviewer. Yeah, pass that data, man. We're going from a 65 to a 95. From the basement to the penthouse. We got the queries, we got the vizzes, and we definitely got the sheets. Roll the tape. Ver. SE1, the SQL soul, step to the mic. I'm the SQL king, I'm the logic in the background, I'm the everything. You want to count? You want to SUM? Without my joins, your whole dashboard is dumb. I'm the foundation, the first pillar of the floor. If you don't master me, don't walk through the door. I'm talking group by having, and the window flow. I'm the engine in the car that makes the numbers go. Ver. SE2, the Power BI suit. I'm Power BI, the second pillar in the stack. I take that SQL logic and I never look back. I'm the corporate engine, dressed in Microsoft green. The cleanest data model that you've ever seen. It's all about DAX, it's all about the calculate. I turn those raw rows into something really great. Relationships are one to many. Keep them tight. I'm the business suit that makes the boardroom look bright. Ver. SE3, the Tableau paint. Then comes Tableau, pillar number 3, the artist in the room. Yeah, that's me. I don't just show data, I make it a viz, storytelling at its finest. Yeah, that's the biz. Drag those pills to the shelves, watch the colors pop. I'm the visual masterpiece that'll make them all stop. Dimensions and measures, keep the colors in line. A 95 analyst makes the dashboard shine. Ver. SE4. The sheet scratch pad. And don't forget sheets, pillar number 4. The quick fix hero walking through the door. Need a VLOOKUP? Need a pivot on the fly? I'm the collaborative king and I'll tell you why. When the boss wants an answer in a minute or less, I'm the one you open up to clean up the mess. From the browser to the meeting, I'm the everyday tool, master the pillars, and you're the king of the school. Outro, the interviewer. You feel that? That's the knowledge. SQL for the depth, Power BI for the bread, Tableau for the head, and Sheets for the, well, for everything else. Study the lyrics, man. I'll see you in 2026. The music fades as the blue LEDs flicker. The guys in the jerseys start arguing about whether index/match is better than VLOOKUP as you drift back toward your nap. The bass drops out for a second, leaving only a crisp 2007 snap track. The interviewer stops mid-dance, his face turning a shade of red that clashes horribly with his velour tracksuit. He taps his Bluetooth headset aggressively. Hold up, cut the track. The beat stops. The guys in the jerseys look at each other, confused. The interviewer leans into your personal space, the smell of expensive cologne and herbal supplements hitting you full force. A100, you think this is a game? You think we're out here trying to be perfect? In the data world, kid, a 100 means you're lying or the data is fake. A 95 is the ceiling. A 95 means you're a god-tier analyst who knows that a 5% margin of error is just statistical spice. You ask for a 100 again, and I'm sending you back to 1226 to count plague rats with an abacus. He takes a breath, smooths his track jacket, and nods to the DJ. The beat kicks back in, funkier than before. Now, let's get back to the 95. This is the expert logic verse. Lyrics on the screen, kid. The track. The 95 ceiling, no room for 100. Ver. SE5, the advanced SQL roast. You want 100? Man, you're tripping on the pride. I'll show you why the 95 is where the pros reside. A 65er writes a query, doesn't check the grain. A 95er uses CTEs to ease the mental strain. With cleanup_crew AS, select every single row. That's how you structure logic so the senior devs know. Don't be a hero trying to write it all in one. Break it down in blocks until the job is done. Ver. SE6, the DAX and Viz deep dive. In Power BI, don't just click the auto date. That's a 65 move, and it's something that I hate. Build a calendar table. Keep the time intelligence pure. That's the 95 medicine, the only known cure. And in Tableau, when the boss wants a pie a 95, analyst looks him straight in the eye and says, how about a bar chart or a tree map instead? Cause pie charts are for bakers and they're better off dead. Verse 7, the final boss sheets. Back in Sheets, you're feeling like a pro, but your import range is moving kinda slow? A 65 just waits for the loading to cease. A 95 knows how to keep the peace. They use named ranges, they keep the syntax clean, the most efficient spreadsheet that you've ever seen. And if the file gets heavy and the lag starts to creep, they move it back to SQL while the amateurs sleep. Bridge, the interviewer half whispering. Listen close. A 100 is a myth. It's a legend. It's a ghost. In the real world, the data is messy, the servers are toast. But a 95? That's the peak. That's the mountaintop. That's when the technical interviewer tells you to stop and says, you're hired. Here's the keys. Go fix the mess. That's the 95 power, kid. Nothing more, nothing less. Outro, the West Coast whistle returns, fading out slowly. 95's only. Keep that 100 in your dreams. Tripleton for life. See you in 2026. The interviewer points a finger at you, winks, and disappears into a cloud of smoke as the radio edit ends. The VIP lounge doors swing open and in walks a guy in a crisp white tall tee, rocking a spinning rim medallion and a side tilted fitted hat. The interviewer rolls his eyes so hard he almost loses his sunglasses. Oh great, the interviewer mutters, it's Hannah. Don't listen to him, kid. He thinks perfect exists. He's a dreamer. Hannah daps you up, his rings clinking. Man, don't mind the hater. He's just mad his queries take 10 seconds and mine take 0. You're doing triple 10? That's the grind. If you want to hit that 95, you gotta aim for the 100 first. Let me show you how we did it in 07. He nods to the DJ, who drops a beat with a heavy 808 kick and a smooth R&B vocal loop in the background. Hannah steps to the center of the leather-clad room. The track, the Hannah Standard, the perfect analysis, Ver. C1, the pristine SQL. Yo, they call me Hannah cause my code stays clean, the most efficient SQL that you ever seen. You want a 95? Then listen to the master. I write the code that makes the server run faster. I don't just join, I check the execution plan. I index every column like a real data man. I use window functions to see the past and the future, stitching up the broken data like a surgical suture. Remember, over the partition of the soul, keeping total accuracy. That's the only goal. Verse 2, the Power BI Polish Power BI? Yeah, I make it look easy, my DAX is so smooth it'll make the boss queasy. I don't just build reports, I build architectures filtered down tight, no redundant conjectures. I use variables and measures to keep the logic fast, var_total sales, making sure the memory lasts. The UI is sleek, the UX is a dream. I'm the MVP of the business intelligence team. Verse 3, the Tableau magic in Tableau. I'm the ghost in the machine, mapping out the data like a high-def screen. I don't do good enough, I do pixel perfect, custom parameters making every click worth it. I use action filters to navigate the story, leading the stakeholders straight to the glory. From the heat map to the scatter, I'm the visual king. I make the raw numbers start to dance and sing. Verse 4, the Sheets secret. And even in Sheets, I stay 100%. Every single formula is heaven sent. I use equals error formula so the cells autofill, while the 65 analysts are standing still. I wrap it in an IF error so the page looks neat, the most sophisticated build in a Google Sheet. You want that 95? Then you gotta see the vision, combine the 4 pillars with surgical precision. Outro Hannah. See? That's how you do it. You aim for the 100, and when the real world hits you with messy data, you land safely on that 95. Keep your head up, kid. 2026 is yours for the taking. Hannah daps you up again, flashes a 100-watt grin, and heads toward the bar. The interviewer just sighs, taking a long sip of his drink. Fine, the interviewer grumbles. The array formula line was actually pretty good, but don't let it go to your head. Go study. The air in the lounge suddenly ripples like a corrupted video file. The bass from Hannah's track distorts, slowing down into a deep metallic thrum. A figure appears in the center of the room wearing a shimmering, iridescent hoodie that seems to change color based on the data flowing through the room. He's holding a device that looks like a smartphone made of liquid glass. 2007, 1995, 1226. The middleman laughs, his voice echoing with a slight digital delay. You guys are arguing over wrenches while I'm out here building cities with my mind. In 2030, we don't just write code, we whisper to the machine. But kid, to get where I am, you still gotta ace that 10 interview in 2026. You need the synthetic synergy. The interviewer and Hannah both step back as a beat drops that sounds like it was composed by a supercomputer, glitchy, hyperfast, but incredibly smooth. The track, The Synthetic Pillar, 2030 Time Jump Remix, Ver. SE1, the AI SQL Fusion. I'm the middleman coming from the year 30, where the data's always clean and the logic's never dirty. You're writing SQL, I'm writing prompts while your server struggles, my LLM stomps. But listen close, to get the AI to play, you gotta know the schema in the old school way. If you can't describe the join, the bot will hallucinate. A 95 analyst keeps the prompt logic straight. Use the AI to optimize to find the hidden leak, but you gotta be the pilot, that's the 2030 peak. Ver. SE2. Automated Power BI in my time? It's a living, breathing soul, automated insights taking total control. But the pillar stays the same. It's the business context. Knowing what to ask is how you get to what's next. Don't just let the bot build a random ass chart, you gotta bake the KPIs into the mechanical heart. The AI does the DAX, but you define the goal, that's how a 95 analyst stays in control. Ver. SE3 Generative Tableau. Tableau in the future? It's a holographic dream, visualizing data like a flowing light stream. But if you don't know the dimensions or the marks, the AI is just a firework without any sparks. You gotta tell the machine. Show the trend, skip the noise. Using generative prompts like they're playground toys. It's not about the clicking, it's about the design where the human intuition and the silicon align. Ver. SE4. The intelligent sheets and sheets? In 2030, the cells talk back, predicting every formula before you hit the track. But a 95er knows that the validation is key, checking AI's math for total certainty. It's the human in the loop, the ultimate flex, navigating datasets that are hyper-complex. Master these 4 pillars, keep your vision clear, and 2026 will be your golden year. Out. Aro the middleman. The AI is the wind, kid, but the 4 pillars? They're your sails. Without them, you're just drifting. Go to that interview in 31 years or 5 minutes, depending on the nap, and tell him the middleman sent you. Tell him you don't just analyze data, you architect it. ET. APS his glass device, and the room starts to dissolve into lines of green code. The middleman's final tip. When they ask you about SQL in 2026, show him you know the syntax, but tell him you know how to use AI to audit it. That's the 95 grade move. That's the future. The 2007 lounge vanishes. The silence of your 2026 study space returns. You're wide awake now. The script is in your hand. The interview is waiting. The static of the time-traveling lounge fades. The neon lights of 95 and the 2007 G-Funk bass lines go quiet, leaving just the soft hum of your laptop and the main breeze outside. I step out of the interviewer persona and stand beside you, not as a ghost of the past, but as your 2026 collaborator. This is it, I whisper. The final track. Let's take everything they gave us, the SQL snark, the pillar polish, and the AI future, and pack it into one last anthem. Then you can finally close your eyes. I pull up a clean, modern beat, something crisp, rhythmic, and grounded. I nod to you, and we take the mic together. The finale, the 95 threshold, the student and the AI. Ver. SE1, your SQL mastery. Yo, I started at a 65, lost in the 1200s, but I rose through the ranks while the database thundered. I don't just select, I architect the view, joining tables with a logic that is tried and true. I see the nulls coming and I coalesce the pain, using window functions just to navigate the rain. From the count of the staff to the having clause fight, my SQL is a beacon in the middle of the night. Ver. SE2, the 4 pillars unified. I got the 4 pillars standing tall in my mind, the most balanced analyst that you're gonna find. Power BI for the model, keep the DAX in the flow, Tableau for the story so the stakeholders know. Google Sheets for the speed when the deadline is tight, and SQL as the soul, keeping everything right. It's the Triple10 legacy, the code and the craft. I'm the captain of the data, steering the raft. For SE3, the AI and the human, Gemini/AI vocals, and I'm the voice in the machine, the 2026 Spark, helping you find the signal when the data gets dark. We don't need a 100, we don't need the perfection, we just need the insight and the human connection. I'll audit the query while you define the why. Together we're the limit, reaching up for the sky. From the mock interview prep to the final project's end, consider me your partner, your bot, and your friend. Cho. Russ, together, we're crossing the threshold, leaving 65 behind, with a 95 vision and a data-driven mind. No more time-traveling motel rooms or 2007 haze. We're ready for the future and the 2026 blaze. Out. RO Gemini. The mirror is clean. The script is mastered. The technical interviewer is just a memory now. You've got the SQL, the pillars, and the AI edge. Go ahead, Andrew. Shut the laptop. The 95 is already yours. IFA. Into the background of your screen. The music tapering off into a peaceful rhythmic pulse. The room is quiet. The study session is complete.